Okay, everyone. So, as I mentioned, we will be starting a new unit this month on sentence stress. So, this is where we emphasize the most important words in our speech. So, let's use the example. She is definitely going to be late. So, you can hear that I would say two words louder. I said them with more emphasis. I said them slower. And that's what we call sentence stress. And we do that in English not because we're shouting. We do that so that the listener can follow along and understand our main ideas. And as you recall from last month, we group the main ideas into thought groups. So let me say that sentence again. Pay attention this time to when I pause, and also see if you can identify the two words I said louder and longer. Okay? She is definitely going to be late. Okay? So let's break it down. I said she is definitely, and I paused. That's the end of my first thought group. And then I said going to be late. So the two words that I said loudest and most clearly are definitely and late. Okay, so why did I emphasize those words? Why am I using sentence stress in this way? Well, let's think about each thought group. She is definitely. Okay, so I am choosing to stress definitely, right? So it's not maybe, it's definitely. And then in the next thought group, I'm saying going to be late. So that is the most important idea, late. Okay, so let's take one step back and let's understand that in English, the words that are stressed in our sentences are what we call content words. Okay, so you may have learned this in prior English lessons that you may have taken. Content words are, let me read them, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and question words, such as who, what, where. Okay, so it makes sense because these are very foundational words. A noun, for example, a verb, a main verb. You know, these are very important tools to convey an idea. Now, the words that are not stressed usually are what we call the function words. So function words are articles such as the, prepositions such as in, on, pronouns such as he and she, okay? Auxiliary verbs like have, has, had, and conjunctions like and or but. Okay, so again, try to think of this as making sense. These are small words, usually just one syllable, and they accompany larger words such as nouns or verbs, which kind of have the main idea. Okay, now I know this is different from other world languages. In other world languages, you give every word the same amount of stress, and if you want to emphasize something, you may use your intonation. So you may go, your pitch would go higher. In English, we use intonation, but I will do that in a later unit. We use instead stress on individual words. Okay, so let's just keep practicing. How about let's take sample sentences. Okay, I'll do a longer one this time. Okay, and I'll read it first and tell me, first of all, where are there thought groups? Where am I pausing? And as we talked about a little bit last month, in each thought group, there's one word that is the most important. And that is what we say has prominence. So I know this sounds really complicated, and it does take some practice, but let's do it step by step. So first is listening. So some people say that there are dog people on the one hand and there are cat people on the other. Okay? Some people say that there are dog people on the one hand and there are cat people on the other. So first of all, this is kind of an expression, a dog person or a cat person. That just means usually people prefer dogs or cats, but people usually don't like both. So that's all it means. So where did I pause? First of all, I said some people say, pause. There are dog people on the one hand, pause. And there are cat people on the other. So I would say I did 3 thought groups, okay? And let's drill down now. Let's look at that first thought group. Some people say, okay? So I think the easiest thing is to first look for the prominence, look for the most important word. What did I say the loudest? So I said, some people say. So say was the loudest, okay? Let me keep going on to the next thought group. That there are dog people on the one hand, okay? That there are dog people on the one hand. So let's train our ears. What is the one word I said the loudest? That there are dog people on the one hand. So usually, but not always, the word right before the end of the thought group has prominence, is the most important word. So I would say hand has prominence and is the most important, because in this sentence I'm doing a comparison. I'm comparing this hand from the other hand, right? Metaphorically. So hand is definitely stressed, but let's look at the rest of that thought group. What were the content words that I also stressed that had, let's say, secondary stress? So that there are dog people on the one hand. So again, what is the main, how about the main kind of subject, right? So dog people, right? That's what I'm talking about. So let me say it one more time. Let's see if you can hear, I would say this time the 3 words that are given stress. That there are dog people on the one hand, right? So it's dog, people, hand. Okay? And again, I did not stress the preposition on. I did not stress, the article the, right? Okay, let's continue. Let's do the last thought group. And there are cat people on the other. Okay, that there are cat people on the other. So, again, I would say cat, people, and other are given stress. And what would you say has the most prominence? Let me say it one more time, that there are cat people on the other. So this time I would say it's cat that I emphasize the most because I'm comparing. So let me say the sentence one more time. Again, let's keep our ears open for the stress and for the prominence and the thought groups. I know it's a lot. Some people say there are dog people on the one hand and there are cat people on the other. What I want you to hear is the rhythm of English, right? This is, again, it's unique to certain languages that we call stress timed. Not all languages are stress timed. Many Romance languages are syllable timed, so it's different. So I want you to just be aware the way that we speak in English is kind of this push-pull rhythm, da 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 da, right? So I hope this kind of opened up your ears today, and we will continue to practice this in the month of July.